Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this video we will discuss the different properties of square root, and further we will understand how we can find out the square root of any rational number and decimal number. So let's get started from the properties of square root. So here we have properties of square root. The things which we need to keep in mind while operating any square root number. So here we have x and y are two positive numbers, and using this we will see the properties of square root. So the first property is the addition of two numbers under the square root. Suppose we have the sum of x plus y under the square root. Then how can we solve this using the property? The property says that whatever the result will be, it must not be equal to the square root of x plus square root of y. Because if you will split this sum into this form, then you might get the wrong answer. For example, suppose in the place of x and y we have root 3 plus 5. Now can we write this as root 3 plus root 5? It will be wrong. The answer which we needed will not get here. So for solving this, we simply add the two numbers inside and then find the square root of 8 here. So similarly, whatever the square root will be, we cannot split this into this form. So this is the first property. The second property is the property of multiplication. It says that suppose we have two square root numbers and we have to do the product of it. So here the property says that whatever the number will be, we can make the product of it here directly, like root under x multiplied by y. So if we have 3 and 5 as x and y, so here we will get root under 3 multiplied by 5, which is root under 15. And now we will find out the square root of 15 to get the answer. So by splitting rule, which doesn't apply in the addition, it applies here in the multiplication method. The third property is of division method. Suppose we have the fractional number x by y under square root. Now how can we split this into the numbers simplest form? We can solve it by doing the square root of x and square root of y separately in the denominator and the numerator. Now here it will be square root of 3 divided by square root of 5, and we will separately find the square root and know the answer here. Now the fourth property is the subtraction of two square roots. So here we can see that we have the addition properties. So the subtraction property is also similar to addition. Suppose we have the square root of x minus y. So also we can say that whatever the result will be, we cannot split the term into this form, that is square root of x minus square root of y. So the properties of addition and subtraction are same here. That is, the fourth property is the square root of x minus y cannot be splitted into separately root x minus root y. So these are the four properties of four operations: subtraction, addition, multiplication and division, which we will use while solving the problems. Now let us understand how we can find out the square root of any rational number. Square root of rational number. So the example here given is example 2.8. So with help of this example, we will understand the method. The first question says that we have to find out the square root of 324 divided by 1225. So how can we find out the square root of this rational number? One method is we can find out after converting this rational number into decimal form, and then we will find the square root of that decimal number. But without converting this rational into decimal form, because if we have such kind of big number, then finding the decimal of it is little bit difficult. So how can we find out? Here we have all the perfect square numbers. So we have already seen the division property of square root, which says that we can split this into different denominator and numerator form, that is square root of 324 and square root of 1225. Now separately we can find out the square root of each number and put it in this place. Say the prime factorization of 324, then here you will get 4 multiplied by 81, which is equals to 2 multiplied by 2, and we have 4 times 3. Now you remember the method we have discussed in the previous video of finding the square root by prime factorization method, which says that we will count one number from every pair of even numbers. So we have 3 pairs here, so we will take out 2 multiplied by 3 and multiplied by 3, which will be here 18. So 18 is the square root of 324. Now if we find out the square root of 1225 by prime factorization method, then here we will get 2 times 5 and 2 times 7. Now according to the method, we will calculate 1 from each of the pair, which is 5 multiplied by 7, and thus this is the square root of 1225 is equals to 35. Now we have find out the square root separately of denominator and numerator, which is here equal to 18 by 35. Now if you can convert the decimal of this rational form, then you can write it, otherwise you can leave it as it is. Similarly, you can find out the square root of any rational number either by splitting this into this form or by converting it into decimal form. Now suppose if we have to find out the square root of a rational number after converting it into decimal number, then how can we find out there? So for that, we need to understand how to find out the square root of any decimal number. Let us discuss the next example, which is example 2.9. Now square root of a decimal number. How can we know this? Example we have here is example 2.9 in your book, which says that we have to find out the square root of number, which is 1.5129. Now we can find out here the square root of this decimal number by two different methods. The first is by division method, which we have discussed in our previous video, and the second is by converting this into the rational number. So before we solve it, first thing you need to understand is this number have two parts. The parts after the decimal point is known as decimal part, and the part before the decimal point is known as integral part. Now the method to finding the square root of a decimal number by division method is, we have here 1.5129. Now we need to divide this. The first step is we have to place the bars from the left side in the decimal part, that is from here 51 and 29, and the integral part we will put the bar as it is, which we put from the right side, and this bar here indicates that at every step we will take this two pair of numbers for operation. Now the next step is we have to find out such number whose square is either less than or equal to this first number in the bar. So here we have 1, so also we can say that 1 multiplied by 1 is 1, which is equal to this number 1, and this will be cancelled, and here we have to add the same number which is in the quotient here. So 1 plus 1 will be here 2, and here we have to subtract this 2, so we will get 0 here, and the next number we will put it down is 51. So here we have 51 after the decimal point, so here also we will put the decimal here in the quotient. Now we have to find out the next number, which we can write here and is less than or equal to 51. So in this case we have 2 here. Now the same quotient we need to add here, and 22 2 we have 44. Now this would be subtracted and we will get here 7. And the next number we will keep down is 29. And here after adding this we will get 2, 4, and what will be here next? Now what we will multiply the square of the number so that we get the number which is either less than or equal to 729. So here it will be 3. If you will multiply 243 multiplied by 3, then you will get here 729, exactly the number. So 729, and thus we can say that we have stopped the division here because we have here 0 as a remainder. So we don't need to add the further quotient here. And thus we have already found the square root of this number, which is 1.23. Now this is a perfect square number, so we have got the remainder as 0. Suppose we have a number which is not a perfect square and the 0 is not there. In that case, we will divide up to 3 to 4 digits after decimal point and keep it as approximate answer. Now the things you should keep in the mind while dividing this is whatever the quotient will be here, we have to add the same number, and the next step we have to empty the unit place to add the next number. Now that's all for this video. In the next video, we will discuss about the cubes and the cube roots. Till then, do like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you. And if you have any doubt, let me know in the comment section below.